I'm MechaGoji Bro. Today we're going to talk about my top 3 Kamurochos in Sega's Yakuza series. I've been thinking, what better way to start off this channel than making a fun topic for fans to discuss? Discussing everyone's favorite versions of Kamurocho could be lots of fun, considering the city appears in every Yakuza game and the Judgment series. As of 2022, the latest Kamurocho would be the one seen in the Kaito Files, a banger DLC, I must say. With that being said, my third favorite Kamurocho would have to go to Yakuza Zero. Yeah, it was my first experience in Kamurocho, before it was my first game in the series. Yakuza Zero stands special for having a Kamurocho in 1988. That means there is no Millennium Tower yet. Instead, a shopping district with a fabled empty lot lays. Damn, there's no telling how many ghosts are probably haunting the Millennium Tower. The late 80s aesthetic gives this map its own atmosphere, considering every other version primarily takes place in the modern day, starting with 2005. Strolling around 1988 Kamurocho during night is unlike any other atmosphere in the series. The bright neon lights, accompanied by bright suits and dresses, the abundance of money falling out of foes, the music, and all little details that make this feel like a genuine time capsule. Onto the layout of this Kamurocho, I appreciate the inclusion of Little Asia, despite not being as in-depth as the one seen in Yakuza IV. However, it does convey the damage Dojima himself has inflicted upon the immigrant communities in the city, forcing them into these tight, claustrophobic alleys. Man, what a monster Dojima was. He should have got his head checked. Now, when it comes to activities, disco and telephone booths give a fun perspective on the nightlife activities in this era, something only seen in Yakuza Zero. And who can forget all the crazy characters seen in those sub-stories we all love? We got Miracle Johnson, Dominatrix, the Pocket Circuit Racer, hell, even the 5 billionaires in real estate. Speaking of real estate, I appreciate how through that game mode we're able to see the names of places we can't access in Kamurocho. Like all those little shops you run past on the street, but we can't read it because, most of us fans in America can't read Japanese. Honestly, the only possible negative in this version would have to be the Mr. Shakedowns. However, once you get the groove on, they become targets for easy loads of move lock.
この金でどうだ!
Kamurocho evolves with each entry, becoming a true character in its own right. Not to mention the real-life inspiration for the city, Kabukicho, continues to evolve to this day. Now onto the next entry in my list. Kawami 2 is a remake of the original Yakuza 2, which took place in 2006. But now this Kamurocho has a photorealistic look based in the Dragon engine. Now this was my first Yakuza game in said engine, and I can't lie when I say I'm in love with it. Kawami 2 is my favorite in the series, so I may just be a tiny bit partial. But can you blame me? I don't. It's such a great story and experience. I mean, you saw the intro. Fighting tigers is in the channel's name, people. Being able to seamlessly experience the streets of Kamurocho with almost no invisible walls was incredible, and I still get joy from exploring it to this day. Being able to toggle first-person mode on and off is a real treat, and the camera option in the game with its filters was fun to mess around with. And let's not forget the selfies. The Dragon engine allowed for destruction during fights, from wrecking shops and restaurants to moving the brawls wherever you wanted. The inclusion of Majima construction gives real incentive to see Kamurocho in a new light, letting a player control a plethora of their favorite characters in outrageous battles can be damned.
Kawami 2 also allows us to visit the lobby of the Millennium Tower whenever we want. Another detail I loved in this Kamurocho was being able to recruit characters you've encountered off the streets from Majima construction, including the Amon brothers. Hell, after I recorded footage for this video, I finally came across Boss Gondawara in the balcony next to the theater.
Now, if I had to list any complaints for this Kamurocho, it would have to be the lack of a sunset option. I'm a big fan of late afternoons and open sandboxes, and since the Judgment games and now I just got to Yakuza 6 had this option, I wish Kawami 2 did as well. Regardless, that classic early 2000s green tint whenever Kamurocho is at night is a detail I do love in this game. Matrix vibes all day. On to my number one favorite Kamurocho, Yakuza 4. Where do I even start? This map has so much depth to it. We can finally explore the sewers and rooftops of Kamurocho. Including the basement areas, the Millennium Tower where the homeless live, and an underground shopping mall. The sheer verticality of this Kamurocho is something to behold, and the only version of the series to let us explore with this amount of depth. For this part, of course, I had to pick my fellow tag guy Tanamura to play as. Each of the 4 characters during the main story are able to experience Kamurocho through their own perspective, making this red light district feel more alive than ever and truly a character in its own right. Akiyama has a special relationship with the homeless since he used to be homeless himself, allowing him to explore the vacant areas in the Millennium Tower's basement during the story. Saejima is on the run from the police, so he has to utilize the sewers and rooftops to his advantage. Tanamura, being a community cop well versed in many languages, he has a special connection to the residents of Little Asia, including the orphans there. When Kiryu himself returns to Kamurocho, he has this incredible battle through Kamuro Hills, much like the second game. But perhaps best of all, the Curry man protects the streets. I love that man and I love Curry. This is the game where we also witness Saejima punching boulders in the caves deep beneath Kamurocho. In fact, all the 3 new masters for the new characters help expand certain parts of the mechanics. Saejima's training with the master underground helps bring incentive to the sewers, and we get to learn a little bit more about Kamurocho. Tanamura's training of Nair, who's a fellow member of law enforcement, helps flesh out Little Asia and all the different backgrounds that Little Alleyway has. And lastly, Akiyama dueling with the madman Sega brings a new perspective to the rooftops. If I had any complaints with this Kamurocho, it would be that there is no option to choose a rainy setting. And now I'm going to leave you guys with some wisdom from Saigo. Thanks for watching.